Yeah, it is time for another Master Passive Income show. My name's Dustin Heiner, and I help people quit their jobs by investing in real estate rental properties so that they can put money in their pockets every single month from the rent that their properties make them. Rents minus expenses is profit in your pocket, and that's what I want for you. Now today we're going to be looking at the resources, the best resources for investing in real estate rental properties. I found so many great resources that I want to share them with you. Many of them are free. Just about all of them are free resources. A couple of them are paid, but you are going to love these resources. Let's jump in today's show where we talk all about investing resources for us as investors so we can quit our jobs and live the dream life. All right, guys, let's start the show.
Welcome to the Master Passive Income Podcast, where we talk about all aspects of real estate rental properties with a special focus on making enough money so you can quit your job and live the dream life. And now, here is your host, Dustin Heiner.
All right, now let's start the show. Now, I am super duper excited now. I am holding in my hot little hands $450. Now, $450 is a lot of money. I know it's a lot of money, and I know you know it's a lot of money. Now, here's what happened. I had a refrigerator. We bought it like 3 years ago. It's a Samsung, and I'll tell you, for any of my properties and for my own property, I'm never going to buy Samsung appliances anymore because they're not made very well. So we are selling off our old, I did just sell my refrigerator, my old refrigerator. It's still a great refrigerator. It's just the ice cubes start freezing up and it just was irritating to me. And I had plenty of money, so I went out and bought a brand new refrigerator. Now, if you've listened to this show much at all, you know I'm very frugal. And so even though I got a really, really good, expensive model, I want one that I'm not going to have to worry about, that's not going to break down, that's really nice. I still saved 40% because it was like a Lowe's discount days where it was like 40% off appliances. Well, I got 40% off. And so I paid $1,600 for a $2,400 appliance or a refrigerator. And then Lowe's says to me, hey, we can haul away your old refrigerator for free if you'd like it. And I thought, well, shoot, I could sell it on Craigslist and make $500. So that's what I did. I put it on Craigslist, and within 2 days, I had 2 people come by. The second person, he offered me $450. I said, deal, take it. And so basically I got a brand new refrigerator, paid $1,200 some bucks for it instead of, $2,400. So I am super excited. So I just want to give you that bit of encouragement that even though you may have money or you may not have money, you want to try to be frugal. You want to try to make money any which way you can, sell things on Craigslist, sell things on eBay, all that good stuff, so you can save money to make money by buying rental properties. Well, I have something also very exciting that I want to share with you. I created a free workshop, a free investor workshop that's going to show you how you can create a 6-figure automatic business. That's one that works on its own without you working, basically getting passive income, a 6-figure automatic business investing in real estate with your spare time, with no money and no experience. So I want you to get started. Go to my workshop. Go to freeinvestorworkshop.com, freeinvestorworkshop.com, and go right there. Sign up for the workshop. Go in there, and I want you to learn as much as you can because changing your life with real estate rental properties is absolutely amazing. I don't have to worry about bills anymore. And I say, praise the Lord, I definitely don't deserve this. I worked hard, but it's all just amazing how money keeps rolling in no matter if I work or not. And I want that for you. I want to see your life change because you have 1 rental property, 2 rental properties, or 3 rental properties. Imagine getting 1 rental property where you made $250 or more each month. Well, man, in 1 year, that's $3,000 extra in your pocket every single month. It'd be like your boss coming in and say, hey, would you like to have a $3,000 raise? Well, heck yes, I would. Absolutely. So go to freeinvestorworkshop.com. Go to my workshop. I want to see you there. I want to show you how you can change your life with real estate rental properties. Now, I've been doing this show for a little over a year now, and it dawned on me that I have never really done a full recap of all the awesome and amazing investor resources that are out there. And I thought, now is a great time to do that because there are some super awesome investing resources that I want to share with you. And if you know me, I'm very frugal. So I'm going to be sharing with you investor resources. Most of them are absolutely free. Absolutely free means you use them and you don't pay any money. So I want to show those to you. Now, at the same time, there are a few that in there, if you pay, you get a fantastic service for your money. And so I would not be sharing these resources with you if I did not fully even use these myself. I absolutely use all these resources myself. Now, to get these resources, go to the podcast show notes, masterpassiveincome.com/68. This is a 68th podcast episode. What it'll do is actually just take you to my resources page and it'll show you all the resources. I have them all lined out there for you. Some I've made myself, some are other companies that are for free. And so I want you to go there, masterpassiveincome.com/68. Now, if you remember in the last podcast, I gave you a ton of different links. Well, this I'm going to continue on with that whole theme of giving you lots of links because there's going to be a lot of links that are going to be in this. But you know what? I'm going to say the links, but if you go to the resources tab on my website or go to the show notes, which is the same page, it'll have all the links for you there. Just click on there so that you can get started and you can get these services, these amazing, amazing services. Now, to start off with these awesome resources for you, I want to give you what I've created. I've created a number of different calculators, and I have financial worksheets and quick budget worksheets and things like that that are going to help you get started investing in real estate. Now, I did a show, I think it was 2 or 3 shows ago, where I talked about the cash on cash return, and I also have the cash on cash calculator as well. And so in the calculator section, you're going to have 3 different main calculators. The first one is the multifamily investment calculator. Now, if you're going to be buying an investment property, this is a great calculator for you. Now, there are so many more things to learn, but this, in buying investment multifamily, like 40, 50, 60 unit apartment complexes, goes outside the scope of Master Passive Income. But multifamily investing is fantastic. It's the step that you need to go to next after you get your single family homes. Think of it like you are playing Monopoly. Monopoly is a fantastic game that helps teach you about life. If you land on somebody's property, you live in it, you rent their property, you pay that landowner money. Like if you land on Boardwalk, which is one of the most expensive, and they have hotels on there or multiple hotels, you are just paying a lot of money. You want to own Boardwalk. You don't want to be living there or, stopping there and paying rent. And so this is basically the way it works out. As you buy land, you get houses on there, you rent out houses, you get more houses, and then you trade those up into get multi-family homes. Now, that's the process where I'm currently at. When I have 30 plus properties, praise the Lord, I have plenty of money coming in, which is fantastic. Now, the next step is I'm actually moving on to a couple things. Commercial properties, which I will buy a property for another gym. So I'm going to open up this gym. It looks like this location is going to be pretty good. The lease will be actually fairly decent and it'll be a good gym. The next one, I will buy it. And I even talked to the current landowner, the current landlord, and said, hey, if you ever want to sell, please talk to me. I'd love to talk to you about it. And he's putting that in the lease where I have the first right of refusal. Basically, if he's ever going to sell it, he has to come to me. So if he ever tries to sell it and I get wind of it, I could go to him and say, hey, it's in the contract. You need to sell it to me. So I'm super excited about that. It's a great property. And so I would love, love, love to buy it if and when he's ready to sell it. The next property would be another location where I have the gym. But that's commercial. Same thing with multifamily. What I'm doing next is I am going to go from single family into 50, 60, 70, 80 unit apartment complexes where I'm the active investor. And then I have passive investors that invest with me. Basically, we start a company. And with starting that company, people that put in money get equity portional share of that company. We buy a property, whoever's in that company gets a positive income or negative income if we lose money, which we hopefully don't. But that's the way it works. You go from one into the other. So you keep building up. So I have that calculator on there. I also have the cash on cash calculator that I talked about 2 or 3 episodes ago in the podcast, where we talk about getting the cash on cash return for your properties is a great, great way to see if you're buying a good property, if you're spending the right amount of money to get a good return. Another calculator is the single family cash flow calculator. It's very, very similar to the multifamily calculator, but it's got much more honed down for the single family. So if you go into the free investment calculator section, you'll be able to see that. All 3 of those as well. Now, at the same time, right below that, I have quick budget worksheets and financial worksheets. If you ever go to a banker and say, hey, sir, I'd like to borrow some money, he's going to want to know what your financials are like. Do you have collateral? Do you have money? Do you have basically something backed up where if you borrow money, they can probably come after it? Basically, they want to know if you have a financial ability to repay the loan. So you're going to need to fill out the financial worksheet, be able to give it to the banker. You're also going to need to do a quick budget to make sure that you're not going into debt every single month. The killer for all investors is if we get into personal debt that takes money out of our pocket. As investors, we love good debt. Good debt puts money in my pocket. Bad debt, I hate. So what we want to do is we want to get loans that have money coming into our pocket every single month. So you also want to use that quick budget worksheet to actually go through it to make yourself a budget for your family, for yourself, so you can start saving money. The ultimate goal is to buy more properties, and it helps if you have money. In order to get money, you need to save money and not go into debt. Okay. Now, I talked about this in plenty of other shows, just kind of offhand, but I want to share with you Roofstock. Roofstock is a company that is terrific. At first, I didn't think I was going to like them. I thought they were going to not be the best company just because I heard generally what they did. But as I actually sat down and talked with, like literally sat down face to face, sat down with the company and talked to them and saw what they did, it is a fantastic service. It's really one of the best investment resources for finding off-the-market properties, and it's great because it limits the amount of buyers in competing for the property. If you go to the MLS, well, you have homeowners also wanting to buy those properties. Well, these properties, it limits the amount of people you're going to be interacting with, plus and basically the way Roofstock works out is somebody like me, if I'm moving up to an apartment complex, I'm going to take my single family home and I'm actually going to list it on Roofstock as a property for sale. And Roofstock's going to run all the numbers. They're going to do all the inspections. They get the property managers. They get everything set up in your business. So it's almost like a turnkey company, but it's not turnkey. And here's the great thing. Obviously, number one, you're going to have to do your own due diligence to make sure that the properties are going to be cash flowing. It's the right area. You like the property manager, all that good stuff. But they're not a turnkey company. Remember, if you listen to the podcast in the past where I talk about turnkey companies, I'm not a fan of turnkey companies. That's why I originally ruled out Roofstock. But the reason why I didn't after I talked to them is they're not like a turnkey company. They're basically trying to connect a buyer and a seller together, and they make a fee on the back end there. And so it really is or it doesn't charge you or cost you as a buyer anything at all. They're basically just like a realtor. So they would make realtor type fees, which is really, really good for them. But the great thing is they actually run all the numbers for you. So if you just go to Roofstock and you find a property on there, you can look through really quickly to see how much passive income you're going to make, what's the cash on cash return, what's the ROI, all that good stuff is already right there. So to get to Roofstock, go to masterpassiveincome.com/Roofstock. And what I will say though is that most of these links are affiliate links at no cost to you. It's actually going to give me a little bit of benefit. I think I get like $1 if I send somebody over to Roofstock. Don't worry about it. You don't have to go through my link, but it would help if you did. I'd appreciate that. So that link again is masterpassiveincome.com/Roofstock. Next up, another one of my favorite software or websites is Cozy. I talk about this all the time. It's a fantastic software. I've used other softwares that are similar, but I had headaches. I used Rent2Go, I think is what it was, and it was a horrible time. My tenants were upset. I had chargebacks. I basically money going back to the tenant and back to me. It was a headache, and tenants were not happy. So I stopped using that, and I found Cozy. Now, what's actually fantastic is I sat down with one of the head guys at Cozy. I actually met him at a conference. He and I sat down and talked together. Just a really down-to-earth guy, a kind of guy that you just want to hang out with. He's just a nice guy, really good guy. And he was really telling me all about the business. Now, here's the great thing about Cozy. It's absolutely free. It's 100% free for you as a landlord. Now, my first question was, well, how do you make money? Like, you're not in the business of not making money. So the way they make money is through background checks. Now, everybody needs to do a background check. Well, I pause that. No, I rewind that. Everybody must do a background check if you're getting tenants. If you place a tenant inside your property without doing a background check, don't come looking at me. I'm telling you, absolutely do a background check. Now, you're going to have to do a background check anyways on any tenant going in your property. It's going to be $30, $35 or something like that. Well, Cozy charges that same amount, and they're a fantastic, solid background check. Everything is for free in there, other than this one thing that the tenant pays for, when they apply. So if you have 4 people applying, there's 4 different credit checks, and then you get the credit review, and you'll be able to look through everything and check it. Now, what you get with Cozy is a full system, a property management system, all online. You can use it on your phone, you can use it on your desktop, and it's a fantastic system. It'll list your properties for rent. Like if you put in your property, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, nice pictures, description, area, and address, and all that good stuff, and you just click one button, it actually publishes it to 5 or 8 different websites and actually lists it for rent. They want to get background checks, and so they try to get as many people in there applying as possible, and so they put it out everywhere. So that's a fantastic tool, just that alone. Then you actually can have all of your expenses put in there. If you have maintenance requests, tenants can put those in there. All your income is paid through the app, through the website, and they don't charge any extra for if there's a regular, bank transaction. They don't charge any extra for that. There's just a credit card fee, which everybody charges just in general. They don't make money off of that. And so everything is basically fully automated. Now, if you're like me, you're going to have property managers, but as you get more and more properties, there are some properties you might just say, you know what, I'm going to manage this one myself. I have a number of properties that I have in my Cozy account because I manage them myself because they're so easy to run. And I just figured, hey, instead of paying somebody $150 a month, might as well take that and put it in my pocket because I already got good tenants in there. They've been in there 2 or 3 years. They don't call for anything, so I don't need to have a property manager, so I did it myself. Now, a big thing is you're going to have, if you have a property manager, the property manager is going to have their own property management software. So I get a question all the time, hey, if I use a property manager, should I still get Cozy? Now, here's the answer to that question. Yes, you absolutely still should get Cozy, and the reason why is as your business changes and grows, and it's free, that's the biggest thing, it's free, just get it set up. As it changes and grows, you never know when you're going to need it, and you want to have options. And this is a huge, good option because I've had it to where I had an old software that was horrible and it stopped working and I needed something. And I was so glad I already signed up with Cozy and I was ready to jump on, and I had a tenant that needed to pay. I was able to set up in Cozy and get it to run. So I suggest going up and getting your account set up at Cozy. Same thing with Roofstock. It's absolutely free. You can browse through all the different properties that they have for sale through Roofstock. That is a great way. Just get signed up absolutely for free, no charge to you. And if you'd like to go to Cozy, again, you have them in my resources tab on my website, but Cozy is masterpassiveincome.com/Cozy, C-O-Z-Y, and it'll take you over to there. It'll also identify you as one of my students going over there. Now, for Rentometer, that's the next item that I have on my resources page. Rentometer is great because we can't always trust Zillow to actually give us the right amount of rent. Now, the person that we should trust is our property manager. But 1, if you don't have a property manager, 2, if you don't want to just bother them with every single property you look at, Rentometer is actually a very, very good service. Now, they have a free option, but they have free service where you type in the address and they'll give you some general information on the rents in the area. But if you pay a little bit, I'm not sure how much it is, and I actually even have a promo code on my website. I think it's POWER or something like that. Use the promo code. You get $100 off. Anyways, it's a fantastic system that's going to show you how much rent you're going to get for the property, or at least what's the low, middle, and high. The bad thing would be if you bought a property thinking you're going to be making $1,600 a month, but you end up making $14 because you didn't account for the rents right. And that's the highest you can get. That would just drastically eat into your passive income. That would be absolutely horrible. So if you want to go to Rentometer, go masterpassiveincome.com/Rentometer and get there. Use that promo code if you're going to use it. But anyways, just use it for free. Use the free stuff just to see how much you're going to be able to rent the property for. Next up is my favorite bank. By far, CIT Bank is my favorite bank. Go to masterpassiveincome.com/bank, BANK. They are giving, I think it might have changed, but I think it's like 2.35%, right around there, savings. And it's a savings account. It's not like a money market account or a CD. It's basically a savings account, which is fantastic because that's liquid money you can actually get at. So I keep all my money in this bank, CIT Bank, And I make so much money every single month from the interest that it makes every single month. I'm like, oh, wow, there's a couple $100, $300, $400. That's just fantastic. It's great to have just extra money coming in because I'm not trying to make money from my savings. I'm just waiting until a good opportunity, a good property pops up, a good multifamily pops up, or my business starts up. I'm holding on to my cash and might as well make that cash make me money. Inflation alone is 3% a year on average. And so if I don't lose 3%, because I'm gaining 2.3%, I'm only losing 0.7%, which is doable until I buy the next property. Hope those numbers kind of worked out in your head. But basically, you want to offset your inflation against the money that you have by investing in a bank like CIT Bank. Go to masterpassiveincome.com/bank. Okay, next one, a great service for starting your LLCs. Now, when you have properties, you want to protect yourself. And protecting yourself, you're going to have LLCs that are going to be basically the company that owns the property. You control the company, but the company owns the property. So hopefully you have a buffer between you and any liability on the property. And I will absolutely say you should have good insurance. Make sure you have really good insurance, liability insurance, umbrella insurance, all that good stuff at the same time. You don't want to just say, hey, I have a company. Let's just not worry about insurance. No, definitely worry about insurance. Get insurance. But Incorporate.com is a great site, and I want you to get your business started. And if you go to, and there's another link, masterpassiveincome.com/form and LLC, all one word. And don't worry about it. I'll put it inside the resources tab. Click on that. And I believe just by clicking on that link, yes, I read it. I just read it. 20% off your order if you go through my link on my website. Again, it doesn't cost you any extra money. I was just trying to find out ways to get you cheaper rates on everything and get you discounts. Now, here's another thing. If you have a company like mine where you have 2 or 3 properties or 4 properties that you have for rent in one specific area or more, it might be good to have a website. So if you're listing on Craigslist and you say, hey, check out my website to see more details about it, you can have a website that already has all your properties always listed. So you can just quickly put a link on Craigslist, point it over your website. Now I have Bluehost. Bluehost is a great website design company. They'll help you with everything, getting everything started up. masterpassiveincome.com/blue, BLUEHOST. masterpassiveincome.com/Bluehost. You'll get $4 off a month for website hosting. And it's a great thing to be able to point people to. It actually makes you seem a little more professional, not necessarily professional, but like established, basically, is what it comes down to. So go to masterpassiveincome.com/Bluehost. Get $4 off your Bluehost hosting. At the same time, you're not paying any extra money for it, so it's good for you. Now, there's one other last thing. There's 2 other things that I have. So I've written plenty of books. I've written 4 books. 3 of them are bestseller, and the other one is a marriage book that I wrote with my wife. I love that book. It's more of a passion project. But I use a software tool called Scrivener. And Scrivener, I can give you a $5 off coupon if you go to my link on there. I don't even remember what the link is. Probably masterpassiveincome.com/Scrivener. If you go there, you can get $5 off coupon. But I use this to write my books. If you're thinking about writing a book at all, this is such a great software. Think of like Word, Microsoft Word, but times it by 1,000. There's so many great things in it. I even just love being able to drag and drop sections, like a whole chapter, moving that whole chapter, a whole section from one chapter to another chapter, because things change. As I write, I kind of grow and things change in my brain or move around in my brain. And the last thing that I want to give you is how I podcast. I really enjoy podcasting. Hopefully you can see that. I really, really enjoy podcasting. I love being able to talk to you once a week and share some great things about how you can change your life. And if you have any desire to do podcasting at all, I have a promo code that'll give you 1 month free for podcasting for whatever reason. It couldn't be for rental properties or for something else. Like, let's just say, actually, I have another podcast with my brother. I literally do it at the same time as this one. It's called the Watch and Learn Podcast, where my brother and I, we basically just say, hey, we want to do a podcast together. I'm in Arizona, you're in California. How do we get together basically and talk more often? Well, we love talking about movies and TV shows, and we thought, hey, we always talk about movies that we watch on the phone. Why don't we just do a podcast and just put it out there? So, we got a few subscribers on there, the people that listen to it, they enjoy it. And it's just more for fun for us. And it was just a great thing for us. And who knows, maybe we might be able to put ads on there, advertise the next Marvel movie or something on there, make a little money, but I doubt it. It's just more for fun. But if you go to my website, actually, if you go to Libsyn.com and as you're ordering, if you use the promo code Dustin, the word Dustin, my name, Dustin, it'll give you 1 month free off your entire podcast show. Now, also, inside of my resources tab, I have some recommended books that I love, like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill is fantastic. Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clausen, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki, just talked about that one recently, and The One Thing by Jay Papasan. Some fantastic books for you as well. And last but not least is Zillow.com. Now there's other ones like Trulia.com, Redfin.com, Realtor.com. Those are all fine and good, but I have found that if I use Zillow, I have a much more accurate, not say accurate, I guess maybe because I know Zillow so well, it just feels like, because I look at it all the time, I feel like I understand it really well. And so if you go to my site, I'm going to give you a free walkthrough of how I use Zillow to find properties and how I buy properties and how I even use my calculator, the single family cash flow calculator. I'll even show you how to do that. If you go to masterpassiveincome.com/Zillow, Zillo, I actually have a video of me showing you my screen. I walk through, basically find a whole brand new area of the country to invest, drill down to another city, from the state to the city, down to the neighborhood, and so on. I show you exactly how to do that, masterpassiveincome.com/Zillow. All right, guys, so now this has been a recap of all the great free and some paid investing resources out there. I just want to see you succeed. So get out there, start investing. You guys are fantastic. Thank you so much for being here with me. In fact, in a couple weeks, I'm actually going to be going over to the East Coast. We're going to start in Florida, drive all the way up to New York. My wife's got this amazing plan of so many great things we're going to see. We're going to take 4 weeks. And you know what? I even plan on doing my podcast while I'm on the road. I love doing my podcast in different cities or even different states or even different countries. If you listen to the first few shows of the Master Passive Income Show, you'll hear me speaking out of Germany or Switzerland or Israel or France or, all these different places. I did podcast shows all over. And so that's something I just enjoy doing. Wherever we travel, I'm going to do another podcast. So in Florida to North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, all these different places, and even like Atlanta, New York, New Jersey, I'm going to be recording podcasts in every single state that I go to. All right, guys, you've been great. Thank you so much. Remember, get out there and get your free workshop. Go to freeinvestorworkshop.com so you can get started investing in real estate rental properties. All right, guys, get out there, start investing. See ya.